remember our soldiers. Today, a look at an impressive collection of war art here in Calgary. As David Boucher reports, it's located in a rather unlikely place, a Calgary church.
Knox United Church in downtown Calgary is celebrating its centennial.
There's phenomenal history in this church. It's more than just a nice old building on the corner of 4th and 6th.
The cornerstone was laid in 1912, and a year later, Knox Church held its first service. Then came the war to end all wars, the Great War, and many members of the Knox congregation enlisted.
This was dedicated in the First World War, 1914 to 18, the members of the congregation that lost their lives.
Another plaque contains the names of church members who died in the Second World War. Also on display are flags representing the 10th Battalion and the Union Jack that flew at Vimy Ridge.
It has a lot of symbolism.
But the war memorial that attracts the greatest attention is the window high above the choir loft.
It's a memorial window to World War I, and it features a number of characters in the window that we find unusual. In the foreground at the bottom panels, we see Canadian soldiers identified by wearing the khaki uniforms, and behind them we see German soldiers typically wearing blue uniforms. It's also unusual that the window has a female figure, a Canadian nurse attending to a dying soldier.
The Suffering of Humanity window, with nearly 10,000 pieces of glass, was produced in Minnesota and installed just 3 years after the Great War ended. The war was still very much on the minds of the congregation.
Everybody was really supportive of the forces.
My sense is that they wanted to memorialize them, but they did not want to glorify war.
An important distinction, says Reverend Linda Hunter.
That's always the kind of the balancing act, because we want to honor what the sacrifices that folks made, who with good intentions and good purpose and a strong sense of being called to war, but we don't want to glorify it either.
David Boucher, Global News.